What's up guys, and welcome to InfernoKun here with a Game of Thrones discussion. I felt the lack of a discussion about Asher, so I might as well go ahead and talk about him. Will he get the Sellsword army from Daenerys Targaryen, and will it actually benefit House Forrester in the future? Now, let's go ahead and discuss about this, because since Asher is now in Marine and actually, kind of talked Croft into letting him see Daenerys, or either bribe him or something like that, which is what I did. But then you can go ahead and see Daenerys Targaryen, which is kind of the only reason you were able to even see her, is because of the incident with Drogon, because you actually ran into him. So we use that as a excuse to go ahead and be able to see Daenerys and talk to her about this army. Now, that's kind of our little bargaining chip. Hey, you give us this army, and I'll tell you where we last saw Drogon, which kind of won't work because, the dragon can fly around and just leave that area that he was in. But we have the evidence of Beskha's burn marks, for me at least, and we have the dragon tooth. Now, we can use the dragon tooth as a bargaining chip maybe, and she might actually think that as a bad thing, because she'll be wondering, how did you get one of Drogon's tooth? Did you hurt him or something like that? And she might be pretty pissed off at you. Now, Daenerys can be a pretty, reasonable person, but when it comes to her dragon, she does not play around about her children. That moment from Game of Thrones TV show, where are my dragons? And she was really pissed off. So it kind of made me wondering, will she be mad at Asher for saying the wrong thing about Drogon, because she said, if you presume to speak of my dragons, choose your words carefully. So it could be a matter of choosing the right thing, and she might be nice to you or mean to you, or even pissed off at you. So it's a matter of, choosing the right thing. That'd be pretty cool if that actually happens, though. She's on the way to becoming the queen, and she is the queen right now of where she's at with the Unsolid and the Dothraki. So yeah, it's getting to the point where we have to convince her to give Asher this Sellsword army to fight for Iron Wrath. We could actually just say that we're gonna, use this army as a fleet that's in Westeros waiting for your return to go ahead and take King's Landing. That can be a convincing thing, but we're going to use this army to fight for Iron Wrath against the Whitehills and the Boltons. So there could be some casualties that she won't actually have her full army that she sent to Westeros. Now, there can be some other ways we can offer her Ironwood like we do with every other person, or we can just, she might go ahead and give it to us out of goodwill, because she has an army of 8,000 Unsolid soldiers, as well as 3 dragons that probably won't listen to her, so they're not really that much help. And she has, her quote-unquote Queen's Guard for these, these awesome people who know how to fight and stuff like that. So what would be her reason to not give us this army? Now, let's look into the family side of things. Okay, so the Forresters are in allegiance to House Stark. House Stark helped out with Robert's rebellion that took Daenerys' dad off of the throne. That can be a bad thing on their side if she actually brings that up. She could be like, oh, you serve the people who fought to get my dad off of his throne in King's Landing, and now we're here. But looky here, we have the positive side of Forrester's heritage, which is the Branfield. Her mother, or Asher's mother, is a Branfield by, birth. So the Branfields are people who served the Targaryens. Now Malcolm Branfield's also there, so he's actually a connection between his family and stuff like that. So saying like, oh, the other side of my family served the Targaryens, and that can be used to actually make her agree to actually giving you the army of Sellswords. Now Asher isn't the Lord of House Forrester, but he can maybe swear fealty to Daenerys Targaryen or House Targaryen, just swear loyalty to them, and there we go. We'll have, House Forrester in allegiance with House Targaryen. Now that's my theory about that. Not really sure that'll actually happen, because that's way too much, getting into the, books and stuff. The TV show is kind of getting a bit deep in there, from what I think. So it might not happen, but I hope we can actually bring up, the Branfield side, not the Forrester side, with the, bannermen of House Stark and the fact that Eddard Stark helped with Robert's rebellion against the Targaryens. So it's getting a bit deep into the books and TV show stuff. So tell me your thoughts about this. How do you think that Asher may convince Daenerys Targaryen into giving him this Sellsword army, because I think that there might be some heavy convincing, kind of how we had the whole betrothal thing with Elena, then we had the whole, you know, deal with Tyrion. I want to actually have more convincing into this, like say something, you get it, or say this, you don't get it, and that's what I'm thinking. So hopefully things get pretty deep in choices. You may actually get it, but you may actually not get it, which would kind of be a big thing. So I hope that they can actually make it so, like, you get a certain amount if you say the right thing, like, hey, you part of the Branfields, you get 100 Sellsword soldiers, or you're a bannerman of House Stark, you get about 80 or something like that. It might be dumb. So tell me your thoughts about this. Tell me your opinions on what is going to happen and everything else. This has been InfernoKun. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe for more, and I'm out.
So, Asher Forrester, if you presume to speak of my dragons, choose your words carefully.